그러니까 대립이 굉장히 심했었던 시대의 사건이었고, 그리고 이 사건을 소재로 한 이유는 몇 년 전에 이 사건에 대해서 들었을 때 되게 영화적이다라는 생각을 한번 한 적이 있어요. 그리고 영화할 생각은 못했었는데, 그리고 이 사건을 들었을 때 제가 느꼈던 거는 영화로 만들어지겠다라는 생각이었는데 영화로 안 만들어지고 있더라고요. 그래서 길복순이란 영화를 끝내고 실화 소재의 블랙 코미디를 좀 해보고 싶었어요. 근데 갑자기 불현듯 이 사건이 떠올랐고 그래서 하게 되었습니다.
As you know, the Cold War is still ongoing on the Korean Peninsula, but in the 1970s we were at the height of the Cold War, and so when I first heard about this incident, I thought that it was such a cinematic and dramatic event that should be adapted into a film, but at the time I didn't quite think to do that, and I thought somebody else would take up this case and make it into a movie, but no one else seemed to take up this opportunity. So then when I had finished shooting Kilboksun, I was thinking about making a film that was based on real events, a black comedy. I recall that I had known about this case before, and so that's why I decided to make this into my film.
Always for Director Bjorn. I have to admit, we were very impressed with the style of the film. It's very dynamic, very original. And what guided you in making these stylistic choices, and where did you get the inspiration from?
영화를 단순히 멋있게 보이기 위해서 저는 스토리보드를 짤 때 굉장히 오래 하는 편인데요. 영화를 멋있게 보이기 위해서보다는 이 이야기가 어떻게 효과적으로 전달될 때 좀 더 새롭게 보일 수 있는 방법을 연구하다 보니까 가끔은 그런 칭찬을 들을 때가 있는 것 같습니다.
So all the stylistic choices that I make in this film, they're not to make the film stylish for the sake of style. When I storyboard my shots, I take quite a bit of time to think about each shot deliberately, so that the story can be told more effectively and more efficiently and in a new way that hasn't been seen before. And so sometimes the audience might find new styles that are emerging, but the core of my stylistic choices are at storytelling.
And also, unlike other films about hijacking, in Good News, most of the story takes place after the hijacking. And can you tell us why you choose to approach it in this way?
예, 사실 원래 이 실화도 그렇게 기록이 많이 남아있진 않아요. 일본에서 납치당하고 북한으로 갔던 비행기가 한국에 착륙했다. 그 정도만 알려져 있는데 저는 그 과정보다는 그 이후의 대치 상황에서 주는 아이러니한 모순들을 좀 더 영화에서 이야기하고 싶었고, 그리고 현재에도 유효한 이야기라고 생각해서 그렇게 시나리오를 짰었고, 그리고 보통 하이제킹 영화를 보면은 그 하이제킹 장면들이 꼭 나오잖아요. 근데 너무 많은 영화에서 봤던 거예요. 그래서 하이제킹 하는 장면을 아예 생략해버리면 어떨까라는 생각을 했어요. 그리고 주변에서 이제 좀 위험하다라는 이야기를 했어요. 그래도 하이제킹 영화에 기대하는 게 있을 텐데, 근데 저는 그걸 과감히 생략하면은 좀 더 새롭게 다가가지 않을까라고 생각을 해서 이런 구성으로 하게 되었습니다.
So this the true event on which this story is, on which this film is based, there aren't actually that many records that survive. We only know that the plane that was hijacked from Japan flew to North Korea, but then landed in South Korea. And so more than the hijacking event itself, I wanted to focus on what happens after in the film as well, to focus on the irony, the contradictions that happen in the aftermath of the hijacking event. And I think the story, many of the elements are still with us today. And so that's what I was thinking about when I was writing the script. And in terms of the scene of hijacking itself, I feel like the scene has already been done in so many other films that I was almost thinking about skipping it entirely. And many people were advising me not to do that because the audience has certain expectations when it comes to hijacking films. But I felt like we could actually explore just skipping it entirely and take this film into a new direction.